this week we are not in the shop. We're actually out. Did a little camping trip. Stitch is over here cleaning up the dishes. So
somebody's got to do it.
We have the intention of filming a little video of Papa's Arctic Cat for you guys, because Stitches busted out everything that needed to be done with it last week. But the two of us have just been super busy the last week doing other things, and we decided to take a camping trip this weekend. So we're going to show you guys some stock footage that we've had since, I think, like May.
Something like that.
Of a dirt bike Stitches picked up. You guys have probably seen it in the background. I think we showed you guys a glimpse of it in one of our videos. But you guys are going to see Money Pit in the background. Money Pit's not sitting in the shop right now. And on a side note, the three little people, Giggles, Little Hands, and Shaky Hands, were going on a walk down by the riverbed that you guys saw in the intro. And they found this little rock. It's pretty cool. It says, "Be kind." And on the back, it's a shout out to Dee and Lee in their RV. It's their YouTube channel. So if you guys are into that kind of stuff, check it out.
All right, so today, you can see, not in the shop. I'm actually en route to go look at another machine for us to work on. So, it's not too far, about an hour drive from where I live. So, we go through, pick it up, and I'll show you what we got once we get it. Alrighty, so this is what I ended up picking up. This is a 2015 Bashan Storm. It's one of those Chinese bikes, the Honda clone, the Honda CR, the CRF 250 clone. It's got the Honda clone motor, 250 cc's, 5-speed, but it's supposed to be an on-road, off-road dirt bike, enduro. The lady that I bought it from, really cool. She told me she bought it from the previous owner, and they literally just used it to teach people how to ride dirt bikes. So she said that when anybody ever went over to her house to ride and they'd never ridden one, this is the machine that they threw them on. So you can see she's taken a couple whacks. Front headlights missing, front fender's missing. The gas cap is broken, so it's held on by duct tape. Rear fender's gone. So, but it's got the side fairings here. The seat, the tank is still on it. We could probably get a gas cap. I'm not too worried about that. And as of right now, it's kickstart only. They removed both the controls. So, I'm not quite sure how everything works out, but I'm gonna go through and see what's going on. She did say that it has compression. I did confirm that, kicked it over. She had quite a bit of compression. She said it ran last year, and that she had not gotten around to starting it this year. She had put stabilizer in it. So, bought it on the cheap, and I figure this way I can chase Little Hands around on a beater while he rides his Pantera 90. I'm going to pull the seat off and try and figure out where the battery goes. From what I've observed online, it shows it underneath the fairing on the newer Bashans. I don't know about the older ones. So I got to take these fairings off, take the seat off, and see where we're at. All right, well, they didn't remove all of the electrical components here. We've still got the starter solenoid here. I believe there's only one bolt holding the seat on. That one only had one screw, which I'm sure it vibrated out because these things are, it's cheap Chinese. Or some people say Chinesium. Alright, so I believe that's a 10 millimeter for the seat here. I'll pop it off and see what we can find. Alright. Seat pan's good, not broken. That's a plus. We've got our CDI box, blinker relay. I believe this is just the air box. Yeah, it's just the air box. Okay, here's the wires for the battery. Just had them wrapped up back here. So, I'm going to guess this was the battery box? Some sort of battery box? I don't know. That's an interesting place to mount a battery. I know on the newer ones, the battery is under the side fairing, either on this side or the opposite side. So I'll have to look into that to see what I can find. So obviously that's it's a good sign that the wiring's still here for it. Oh, we got some, okay, this is going to be blinkers and tail lights. Yeah, you can see it's all just hacked off there. But they ran it as a dirt bike, so I'm not complaining. That's all I'm going to do with it too. I might throw a tail light on it just so when I'm riding, anybody behind me can see. But we got to make sure she runs first, and we got to make sure she's going to go. So I'm going to grab a jump pack. We're going to hook her up here, and I'm just going to bridge the two terminals here and see what happens. With any luck, she'll kick right over. We won't have any issues. So let me grab the jump pack. We'll test her out. All right. Negative, positive, power. I'm going to use a screwdriver here to bridge the port there. Let's see if we can go down a little bit more. There we go. So start a relay here. It's going to bridge it and see what happens. Wish me luck. What's promising? I don't know if y'all can hear that, but it is, the starter's turning. So I don't know if some wiring that's missing here is causing it to not connect. I know on the other side of these things, we'll shut this off. I know over here, you can look at the gears. Right, so I know over here, we have the starter here. That's where it comes into the case. So I'm going to pop this cover off. See, maybe the gear is shredded. Or, maybe there's something else going on in there. It's an 8 millimeter. We'll pop these off and check them out. All right, here's the 3. Let's see. Well, that'll do it. All right, so you guys really can't see. Oh, yeah, you can. It is missing the gear. So you have gear down here that goes down to your flywheel to actually turn the engine over. It's supposed to be a shaft here with another gear that connects right up here to the starter. So there's a smaller gear, then a bigger gear. I have to do some research. I believe you can buy them on Amazon for like 20 bucks. So I'm hoping that that's all that is. yeah, so I'm going to put this back on for now. No point in leaving it open. I'll put the screws back in, and I'll pull a spark plug, and we'll test for spark to see what it's doing now. As long as we have spark, I'll order the starter gear because I'd much rather have electric start than just the kickstart. If I got both, it'd be great. I'm definitely gonna have to pull this carburetor off to clean it. I'm sure it's nice and funky in there, so we'll definitely pull that out. And we'll go from there. All right, so I went through and removed the spark plug. Standard size, any 250. I think we got one or two laying around. D8EA, 18 millimeter to remove if anybody was interested. Let's see. I'll put this on here and oh yeah. Oh yeah, she got some pretty blue spark. I don't know if you can see it on camera. I'm going ahead and see if I can show you one more time here. Get it at a better angle. But she's got a very pretty blue spark. Let's zoom in. Yeah, right. So she's got spark. Carburetor's definitely going to have to come off. So I'm going to go through and do some research. So I'll see if I can get that starter gear and see if I can order a set of hand controls. And maybe, just maybe, we can wire them back in. I'm not sure where all the wiring is. I don't know if they cut it all. There's some here. It goes to a regulator, or rectifier, sorry. There's some more down here. So I'm going to have to go through, find out where all the wiring is, where it's all wrapped up, and hopefully have a fun little dirt bike to rip around the yard. All right, so I went through and tore the tank off, which was 2 bolts on the side, 2 bolts down here in the rear, and then remove the carburetor, which was 2 10mm nuts, remove the plunger. I ended up pulling out the entire air box, which is over there. So it's got one, he's got 1, 2, is it 3, I believe it was 4 spots. Might have only been 3. Let's take a quick look at it. Let's see. All right, so we have spot on the top, bottom, side. So it's 3. Then there's some screws here to check the filter. So the 3 bolts, removed it. So I went through, and to my surprise, this is not a knockoff carburetor. This is straight from Japan. The other problem is that when they do these, that they don't have actual screws in the bottom. It is an actual screw, but there's no head on it. So you have to go through with a grinder, cut a slot, and then use a straight screwdriver to remove them. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to slot these, and I'm going to show you what it looks like, and hopefully they come out fairly easy. Check back with you in a minute. All right, so we're back. So whenever you do this, you want to make sure you're careful. You want to make sure you get as much gas out of the carburetor as possible. Flip it upside down, drain everything out. You can see I got everything out that I could. I'd open the bottom drain here. Still a little bit in there, but not enough to where I was going to be concerned. So you can see here, I've gone through and gone all the way down. I did mark the bowl up a little bit, but that shouldn't matter. So then you just take yourself a straight screwdriver, and you should in theory, all twist out. It's 1, 2, and then that was a little crustier, but still worked. So number 3. So we got all 3 out. I'm gonna pull this apart and see what it looks like. So these bolts all end up going to a hardware store and getting replacement ones. Whether I do it in Allen's or Phillips, we'll see. So we're gonna open her up and see how bad it is. Actually, she is fairly clean. I mean, there's nothing in there. I mean, it looks all right to me. Yeah. Gasket's savable, so we'll put that back on the bowl here. And we'll look through everything real quick. You know, all the jets look good. Everything looks clear. She's a little dirty back here, but nothing a quick spritz with some brake clean couldn't fix. And some fresh gas. I'm just going to spray this up real quick, and tomorrow I'll run and get the new screws for the bowl and put this bad girl back together. See if we can get something to run. I did find the wires for the controls, the headlight, and everything, and they cut the end off. So I don't know what wire does what. Maybe I could find a wiring diagram. I don't know how this thing even has spark with them all. They're all just literally in here. I don't know how this thing didn't catch on fire, or yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. So I'm gonna see if I can find a harness for it. If I can't, then I'll have to go through and find out what's what, and at least be able to find out what's a constant for the headlight when it's running, and which wires for the key. Maybe I can put some type of key switch on here with a off button. So this is going to be the end for tonight, because I can't put the carburetor back together until I get the new screws. So I actually I found the gear. It was $22 on Amazon. I just typed in 250 sprocket or 250 starter gear, and it's coming with the gear, the main gear that goes here for the starter, and then it comes with another gear that's behind this case. We'll check it out when we get it. I ordered a set of controls for $18. They're just a standard bare, no bells, whistles, anything. They're just standard. So I'm going to go through and hope that I can wire everything up, and we'll go from there. See you tomorrow. Alrighty, so the new gear came in, and I'm just doing a quick fitment. Got it here. I already set it on here. So it came with the new shaft, the new gear. The spacer was actually stuck inside here from when they pulled it out. They had just left it in there. Thank God it never got grabbed or anything and pulled out. I'm not going to replace the other gear down in here, which is what that one is, because it looks good, so I'm just going to leave it. So we're going to take this, put it in there, and then after I get it in there, I'm hoping that she will have electric start. Now, of course, I still don't have any of the wiring done, so it'll be touching the two posts together and start trying to turn her over that way. And we'll use the jump box. So I'll check back with you in a minute and go from there. All right, so got the cover reinstalled. We're gonna turn on our power pack here. And let's touch these two together and see what happens. All right, she's turning over good. See if she's still getting spark. I'm sure it is. I don't see why it wouldn't. So let's see. Yeah, she's still got spark. So, as you can see, one way to do this without any of the buttons is just to take a screwdriver or a wrench and touch the two terminals together, and it'll turn it over. For anybody wondering, this gear that I ordered, honestly, I ordered it for just a Chinese 250 dirt bike, and that's what came, and it seems to match up. I know there's a couple different gear ratios and stuff on some of them, but this gear ratio worked on this one. I was crossing my fingers the whole time to hopefully get the right one, and we did. So I'm glad that's done. So one less thing to do. I did find a wiring harness online, so we're not trying to repin. So I'm going to, it's a used one, so I think I'm going to order that. So that's going to take a couple days to get here, but in the meantime, I go through, slap the carburetor back on, the air box, clean out the gas tank, and hopefully we get to hear a fire for the first time. Alrighty, so I went through, put the carburetor back on, took our tester tank here, threw a hose on there, a little low on fuel here, but I think it should be enough to get her to kick over. At least I'm hoping anyway. So we get this to balance up here. Yep. Alright, so we're gonna put the choke all the way on, and let's see. Booster box is on, and here we go. Woo! First try. So I don't hear no clacking from the engine. Sounds good. Sounds nice and healthy from the exhaust. Let's see what happens when we take the choke off. And I've run out of gas. Like I said, this tester tank did not have much in it, so I'm gonna have to go get some more fuel. Turn that off. So she runs. She sounds good. Starter gear works perfectly. So that's a big win. So now it'll be seeing if I can find the cracked gas cap, cleaning I believe the pieces of the cap are down. I believe they lost a key or something at one point. They busted it all up. This is all that's left of the gas cap. So then you can hear quite a few pieces in that tank rattling around. So I'm going to assume the rest of it's in the tank, but she does run. I didn't try and put it in gear. Probably should have, but I don't have enough gas for that, so I'll have to get gas for it, and we'll go from there. So moving right along on this project. I think while I wait for the wiring harness to arrive, I'm going to try and figure out which of these wires is a kill switch or can be used for a kill switch, because the only way to shut it off is to stall it out or to pull the spark plug boot off. All right, so went through and pulled out everything that was rattling around in the gas tank. We had the bottom half of the gas cap here. They busted it out because they didn't have the key. At least that's what it looks like. So we had the 2 screws rattling around the bottom piece here. One of the lock pieces, the other one was not in there. So now I've got to go through, I've got to measure everything to see if I can get a new cap. I don't think it'll be that hard once I measure it and compare it to the ones that I've seen online. As you can see, carburetor's on, airbox is on. I did run a new fuel line here because the old one was kind of crusty and leaky. I do have some gas in it, and she starts up fairly nice. Let's see if she'll start up again for us here. There she goes. So it keeps kicking out like that, so I don't know if there's it could be an issue with the wiring, or the spark plug is just corroded. I do have to get a new spark plug. Let's start her again. I believe the spark plug is just really bad. That's why it keeps kicking out like that. So, like I said, I'm gonna order the gas cap and continue on. I'm gonna put the plastics back together here, at least the plastics that I have. I picked up a plastic welder. I don't know how well it's gonna work, but I'm gonna try it on this crack here. Try and hold all this together, and wherever else it needs, like, I think it's supposed to be tabs on the back that are supposed to bolt there. So maybe if I have a piece of broken plastics laying around here in a junk pile, I'll make something work. Yeah, I'll get that back on, get the seat back on, and gonna go from there. Alrighty, so quick update on the gas cap here. I went online and I ordered a gas cap, just a random gas cap. Let's just say Ghost Born, suitable for Yamaha Drag Star. It was for Yamaha bikes, 650, 250, right on through. So this is what she looks like. Came with keys. So, yeah, like any of these, flip it over and you're good. So from what I can tell, these two pieces are very similar in size. Everything looks pretty close. So I'm going to stick the keys in it, and let's hope she fits, because I think I only paid like 15 bucks for the gas cap. As long as everything fits, everything looks like it's going to line up. Let's see. Turner. Let's see if we can get kind of hard to do with one hand here. Let's see. And she does fit. She's a little tight. I could probably do some modification on it. Clean it up a little bit. You can see a little bit of rubbing on it. So I could clean that up, make it a better fit, take it apart and clean it up. Or I could probably take this piece, the bottom piece, off and use the original one for it. I'm not quite sure if these pieces will fit, but for now, Has a working gas cap. Fits. She's on there fairly decent. Feels like it's got a good seal on it. The only thing that sucks is that if I do put an key switch on here, it's not going to match the key for the tank unless I try and get it pinned the same, which might be one heck of a challenge. So it's a quick update. I did go through, I believe I figured out why she was fouling out, or I do believe I figured out why it was kicking off the way it was. Went through and I started testing the rectifier. And if anybody remembers the video from the Quad Runner 250, it was giving us the same issue. It would just die, lose spark. The rectifier is giving all kinds of crazy voltage to the battery. This fuse was blown, so there was an extra one in here that I threw in and had it running. Let's see, still good? Yeah, it's still good. So I threw the extra fuse that was in there to see if I could get power back here to the battery. While it was running, it was throwing like 20 volts, 18 volts, 25 volts, down to 10 volts. It's jumping back and forth. So I tested from the stator. Stator was given, at an idle, it was giving a constant 12.2 volts. But to check the power coming out of the rectifier, it was giving crazy numbers. So that's bad. That should be here within the next day. And hopefully I can get that on. And she'll at least be running properly. And we'll try and put her back together and we'll go from there.